Hey, what's going on? Professor Skinner here with Simplify Real Estate. This is crazy, absolutely bonkers. I've got to tell you about what almost happened today and why it's important that you as a buyer or you as a seller or heck, even you as an agent, if you're listening to this, why it's important for you to look at your title commitment, why it's important for you to look at the deed. Not all of them are going to be this convoluted. Some could certainly be worse, but some of them are much easier. So it's worth it. Take a minute, look at your title commitment, look at your deed, make sure you're selling the right property, make sure you're getting the right property if you're buying. Okay, again, Eli Skinner here, Simplify Real Estate. I'm not a lawyer. I am not anybody fancy. So go consult your advisors when it comes to this stuff to make sure your situation, this is the type of thinking that you need to do. But in our case, let me just tell you the story. It's going to take a second, but you're going to see how confusing this can get. And you better be working with some people that know what they're doing so that you don't end up in a sticky situation. So check this out. You can say thank you later to my daughter for letting me use her little artboard here. Again, this might get a little confusing, but see if you can follow me. Here's lot 1. Here is lot 2. We have tried to do this. The hash marks are parts of the parcels that we are not selling. That was the goal. Okay? So keep that in your mind. That's the goal. And this is why you check your deeds, your legal descriptions on them, your title work, your title commitment, those sorts of things. That's what it should have looked like. It should have been 1 and 2 minus this stuff, okay? Here's what ended up happening. At first, our title work was this. We were selling lot 1 without this, okay? And so what that says is, in super long legal description terms, like that's impossible to read, right? It basically said lot 1 minus, call that northeast quad, and it actually says the word except. Okay, northeast quad. So lot 1, except for this. So it's going to give you the legal description of lot 1, the entire thing. Then it's going to say, except this little baby piece. Okay, except this little baby piece. Then it said, also, and then it had this. And we'll call that west side. Here's the problem. We're selling lot 1. We're getting rid of this. So far, so good. But then they added back in. Understand how can you, it's already there in lot 1. But then they added, instead of accepting that, they also that. So it'd be the equivalent of, let's see if we can try a different color here. All right, so we got, this is the equivalent of A minus A.1 plus B. You end up with both. Let's just say that, okay? You end up with B also. So that means we'd have A minus A.1 plus B. We already had most of B, but then we added this here, but that's not even on the lot we're talking about. So that's confusing, I get it. But that's why it didn't work, but we had to catch it, okay? So that was what it started out. Then it became, we're going to stick with this green since it's working. Then it became this. I got them to change it. And they did that. Okay, so lot 1, except northeast quad, also accept west side. So that's kind of better, right? Now we're selling lot 1, but we're not selling this, we're keeping it. And we're not selling this, we're keeping it, but we're still bleeding over to something that's not even part of the transaction yet, according to the legal description. So we got to fix it. We got to add in lot 2, leaving everything else the exact same, add in lot 2. But remember, this exception is written all the way down here automatically. By the way it's written, it includes both lots because the surveyor did what he was supposed to do. He knew what he was doing. So then it became this. Lot 1, accept this, except, this is going to be really weird, folks, except this. Okay, so it said lot 1, except northeast, except west, but it also had this part here, right? That we had talked about where it bleeds over. But the problem is that's under lot 1. So that bleed over didn't even apply to lot 2. So then we had plus lot 2. So now there is a street right here. There is a field back here. Okay? And just for purposes of understanding this, this whole point of this is to get us to the field and have access to the street. Had we sold it like this, our third option, we now would have a nice drive 17 or so feet away from the road. So we couldn't get back to our field. So we literally had to end up here. Fourth and final try. Actually going crazy at this point, if you can imagine. We ended up here. Because what we did was we said lot 1, this is lot 2, got this, we're accepting all of this. So we got them finally to say lot 1, accept northeast, accept west side, plus lot 2, accept west side. We just copied this again and therefore picked up that. We could have also done, accept 17 foot by 15 foot section on west end or something like that, right? They could have, the legalese, they could have come up with some other way to do it, but we ended up, we could just copy that same exception there. Now listen, as confusing as that was, me trying to explain it to you, try reading it when that exception is 5 or 6 lines long, and this legal description is this long, and this legal description is this long, and it's all numbers and words and weird meets and bounds terminologies. It's horrendous. But because we were paying attention and because we were aware of what we were trying to accomplish, and we had enough experience to be able to read meets and bounds well enough to know that what we were seeing was not coinciding with what we needed to end up with, we were able to catch this. Had we not caught it at the beginning, we would have sold, we would never have even given the buyers number 2, which would have been bad for the buyer. That wasn't my person, but my sellers don't want to cheat somebody. They were buying this and they needed to get this, and they wouldn't have caught it, I can promise you that. Had we sold it second round when the title company thought they had it right, and also, not only would we not have sold 2, but we also would have sold this part, which we didn't want them to have. So it would have been bad for both people, sorry, on option 1. Option 2, we would have sold lot 1, this gone, and this gone, but still nobody would have gotten, the new people wouldn't have gotten lot 2, which would have been good for us, really bad for them, because they technically wouldn't have even had access to their own property from that street at all. Zero. Then we had option 3, which was they got all of lot 2 from us, which was now bad for us because we needed access to the drive to get us back to our field. So finally got to option 4, where it's this. We've got the street here. We got the drive that takes us back to our field. They own this and this. Our little pergola safe that's encroaching from this lot over here. We've got a house. We've got egress. Everybody's happy. That would not happen unless somebody in your corner is paying a crazy amount of attention. All right, anyway, Eli Skinner, Simplify Real Estate. I hope you're having a great day. I just wanted to share this little piece of learning. We've done this a couple of times. We've had to catch these sorts of things. Do a lot of transactions, and this doesn't happen very often, but when it does, you better be ready for it. And just because it only happens once or twice every couple hundred transactions, that one time it happens, you're gonna end up in real trouble if you don't get it caught, all right? Because here's what I found out a while back, long time ago. Once that deed walks out of the room, it's pretty much your purchase agreement, and what you all thought was happening isn't worth the paper it's written on. When that buyer says, yes, I'll take what you just signed over to me, and leaves the room, it's over. So there could have been many opportunities for major problems there. All right, hopefully I have not bored you completely. If nothing else, you know who to call if you've got questions. All right, see you later.